Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Courageous Conversations. Whoops, I'm caught here. All right. Hi, it's Victoria Lorient Fabish, holistic psychotherapist. It's a pretty nice day out there, still humid, hence the very curly hair. And I often wake up in the morning and do some meditation, some writing possibly, and also I do a rune deck. And today I pulled, can everybody see that? Breakthrough. And that's why today's topic I think is really important. If you're looking to break through to the other side of your consciousness, it's an important thing. I'm just going to do a little sharing here, and you can too as you join me. But breaking through is really, really important, because getting to the other side, getting to your desired state of being is often very, very, very challenging, because a lot of emotions come with that experience. And I know that people are quite, I work with people every day who are numbing out, who are avoiding, and who are not in any way, shape, or form prepared to do. They want to get to the other side. They're interested in getting to the other side. That's something that they really express to me. That's why they're in my office. They're saying, I've got to do something other than what's happening in my life. But there is a profound habit of avoiding. And the avoiding is, I wanted to wait till some people come online, because I wanted to see what people were thinking about the notion of, let me know you're here when you arrive. But I wanted to talk about what it takes to break through. What it takes to break through to the other side, to start really transforming your being. What does it take? What does it take to transform your being? And that's what I want to talk about here. Because if you're engaged in a desire to transform, to break through, to get to the other side, there's no way around the mountain. I posted a meme yesterday saying there's no way around the mountain. Through is the only way to the other side. There's no going around it. There's no going over it. There's no going under it. It's through it. And you've got to go through the feelings, and you've got to go through the pain, and you've got to go through the fear, and you've got to go through the muck and the mire. We all got to do it. I got to do it. You got to do it. Everybody's got to do it. If we're interested in growth, in breaking through, in moving to the other side. Because honestly, boy, it's so much easier to just sort of avoid. Avoiding is something that we're all tempted to do. We're all tempted to have that, just like comfort zone, and to just say, okay, I'm not involved in transformation, or I'm saying I'm involved in transformation, but in actuals I'm not. And that's really huge, because I'm just going to turn this slightly over this way so that the light is I'm not as backlit. So the declaration from a lot of people, where they want to free themselves from difficult relationships, or they want to experience a sense of freedom from patterns of behavior, ways of thinking, ways of coping, dynamics in their home, in their work, in all of those things. But to get to that other side, you need to identify where you numb out, where you avoid. And that's a journey within. That's a deep journey within. Because the avoidance, hi Robin, hi Victoria, nice to see you, welcome. I'm waving. Because the avoidance experience is such that it can happen in a way that's almost, you don't actually recognize that you're doing the avoiding. It could be through enjoyment. You have a lovely social life, so there's all kinds of group activities and fun, and you're never sort of taking time to stay quiet. I hear people talking about panic. I sometimes feel that. Sometimes we as humans tend to, especially busy humans, tend to panic when it comes to, oh, we've got a whole weekend alone. or we've got time that we don't have other people around, so I've got to deal with myself. Am I going to be on my phone? Am I going to be in Netflix? Am I going to avoid? And food is an excellent avoider as well. The notion of sugar and altering food substances that cause, there's actually science that shows that sugar and those kinds of things can really block out their kind of, they increase our dopamine. They give dopamine is pleasure, and it actually will numb out and block out your relationship to the part of your brain that's all about feelings. And people, I'm not saying that you need to be at the mercy of your feelings. No, it's not about that. It's about tapping into your feelings, tapping into your emotions, and then making sense of them, making meaning of them, and really allowing yourself the opportunity to not be so locked in the avoidance patterning. And avoidance patterning can be kind of interestingly seductive for all of us. Avoiding deeper feelings, avoiding deeper conversations, avoiding time alone, avoiding one of my clients says the other day that whenever she works out really hard, she cries. So she now avoids working out really hard because she doesn't want to cry. I'm like, well, why don't we investigate what the crying is about with the working out? I mean, a lot of people, by the way, cry when they work out hard, but don't avoid that just because you're afraid you're going to cry. So the it becomes autopilot for her. It's inefficient. Well, if I cry, then I've got to redo my makeup and or whatever it may be, and then it takes more time to get back to my office. I'm like, well, hang on a second. This has we can really capitalize on this, because this is a person, and it's a very common case study, where they don't appear to be in any way low functioning. They're very high functioning. They're just coming to see me for a variety of coaching things, but emotions are something that elude this person, and the emotions are powerful. They're little cues. They're like the breadcrumbs that our soul is leaving to understand and make meaning of what we're going through in our being. So let's follow the trail of the breadcrumbs. Don't ignore the breadcrumbs. Don't stop looking. Keep looking. And that requires that you journal. People are like, why do I have to journal? No, you've got to journal, because journaling is your roadmap. I love my journal. My good friend Pam McDonald made me this beautiful journal. But journaling is your roadmap to breaking through. If you want to break through, and I know you do, if you're tuning into me, you're looking to break through. And breaking through requires work. Hard work of going through the mountain, not around it, not over it, through it. Now, you don't need to do it alone. I love to use the analogy of Lord of the Rings and the character Frodo, who's got to go into the mountain and retrieve the ring and, confront his fears. And he's like, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this. And he says, and Gandalf comes in and says, why don't you want to do this? What's wrong? Why are you so upset? And he's like, oh, I'm so scared. I don't want to go through the mountain. And why do I have to go through the mountain? And Gandalf says, because it's yours to do. Because it's yours to do, which to me, Tolkien, who wrote Lord of the Rings, is a psychologist. And that psychologist, Tolkien, who wrote Lord of the Rings, is basically talking about us scared beings, Frodo, scared beings, and we're not alone. I believe as a holistic psychotherapist, we have unseen energies around us, which we need to tap into, dialogue with. Dialogue, if that doesn't resonate with you, no problem. Dialogue with your higher self. We all have a higher self. Tap into your soul. Your soul is not bound by fear. Your soul is not bound by duality. This is good, that is bad. Your soul is much more attuned to a neutral way of looking at life, even the difficult parts of life, and saying, oh, that's interesting that you're going through this problem. What can we learn here? How can we grow from this? What is to be gathered from that experience? And when you tap into that aspect of your being, your higher self, your soul, versus the lower self, which is the ego, which is mired in fear, and avoidance and numbing out. When you tap into the higher part of you, you really are going to tap into the breadcrumbs or the cues or the or the little signposts in life that will help you to transform. But you know, I want to just acknowledge all of us who shake in our boots, me included, when we're trying to transform, when we're trying to not be at the mercy of our patterns and at the mercy of our long-held beliefs, you know? And that's what I'm talking about. So I'm asking people to get into breakthrough mode. I love breakthrough mode. And breakthrough means you're going to come to the other side, but that means you're going to punch through that mountain, and you're going to gather your supports, you know, a therapist, gather gather the people in your life that can hold your hand through it. And even if you don't have, you know, too many people, maybe just one person or a therapist or a coach or a Facebook group like mine, Courageous Conversations, you know, where you can kind of gather some support in there. And I'd love you to join it. The way through is to wake up and stop numbing out, feel the pain, and then make meaning of it. But try to not make meaning like, oh, I'm a loser for feeling pain, or I'm weak for feeling pain, or I'm weak for... No, people sometimes confuse the feelings of pain and suffering, and they judge themselves. And I mean, if you come from a family of origin that, you know, feelings and emotions are a sign of weakness, then yes, you'll do that. But try to look beyond it and try to know that your feelings are your signposts. Your feelings are your clues into what's necessary, what's not working, you know, what's not working. Hi, Liz. Nice to see you. And some people don't even know what's not working. They just know that they don't feel good, that they don't feel good within them. So the question you have to ask yourself is, you know, what is not feeling good within you? And can you tap into your soul, to the higher part of you, to the higher self, and start to find ways to unlock the numbness, unlock the avoidance part of you, and then start to make meaning in a way that is not judgment oriented, but making friends with the dark aspects of yourself. Make friends. Allow yourself to be friendly with the parts of yourself that are afraid, that are avoidant. Don't judge your avoidant part either. You know, just like, oh, hi, avoidant part of me. What are you about? You know, ask that question in your journal and write. Well, and find out what the avoidance is about. You know, what the fear is about. These are the opportunities, in my estimation, for true breakthrough, for true transformation. When we access the darkness, the mountain, and decide we got to go through it versus avoid it, I promise you, you will break through to the other side. You will break through. And I know that if you're in my vibration, you're interested in breakthrough. You're not interested in just sitting in the avoidance, numbed out muck and mire and making no meaning of it. And I really am a fan of breaking past the comfort zone. Oh my gosh, I love the comfort zone. Don't you? I love the comfort zone. We all love the comfort zone. You know, the patterns, the regularity, the routine. Awesome. And however, we all need routine. Routine is very, very, very important. Routine is. However, when it comes to moving past the thing that you're doing constantly over and over and over, there is only one way to get to that other side, as I say, and that's to go through the mountain. And the mountain is scary and the mountain is dark, but you don't need to do it alone. You don't need to do it alone. That's the glorious part about this. Seek out trusted people. Also, if you can't afford a therapist, ACA, I'm a big fan of ACA. ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families. When you talk, you know, people say to me, I have no money for a therapist. I say, well, join a Facebook group that's supportive, Courageous Conversations, Positive People Army. You know, go to ACA. These are all free things to do. These are ways to help you on your journey of getting through to the other side. Step into a 12-step group. Could be Codependence Anonymous, could be Adult Children of Alcoholics and Dysfunctional Families, could be ACAA, which is Alcoholics Anonymous, could be Al-Anon if you're super hooked into your addicted partner or whatever it may be. Just reach out and be courageous so that you can be, I mean, why do we do this? I mean, what the heck are we doing this? Well, the better you are within yourself, the more you are going to help the planet. And let me tell you, breakthrough is needed because the planet needs us to break through so we can help others break through. We need to open up the awareness and we need to stop the avoidant behavior. So how are you avoiding? What's your avoidant? You know, is your avoidance people, people, people? Is your avoidance, you know, doing a job that doesn't challenge you? Is your numbing out with food? Is your numbing out, you know, with self-criticism and insecurity? So that's not numbing out, but it's like a protector, so you don't actually relate. So what's your version of the numb out, the avoidance? And then troubleshoot it, work it, get into your journal, share it with a trusted person, get into some therapy, and there's no way around the mountain, okay? No way. But understand that you don't have to do it alone, but it is yours to do. This is your journey. This is your journey. And you need courage. And this is a courageous conversation with yourself and with others as well. So I am going to sign off. I'll be back for another episode of Courageous Conversations. And don't do it alone. Join Courageous Conversations. Go to a 12-step. Get into some therapy. And allow yourself to break through to the other side and get through to the light aspect of your being and tap in to your soul. Because a lot of the answers live when you tap into your higher self and the unseen energies of life. And I got to tell you, I know none of this is easy, but I know you can do it because you've tuned in here. Have a brilliant day and keep having courageous conversations with yourself and others. And join me. I won't be here Friday, but I'll be posting some other interesting stuff tomorrow. But I come in live again on Tuesday. All right. Blessings. I may come in live Monday, but it's looking like Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays are my days to come live. But I'll let you know. Mwah. Be well. Blessings.